We made it. I cried on a meeting today on Zoom today, y'all. I never cry on meetings. Oh my God, we were meeting about the youth jail and needing to close it, and it was just intense, and I cried. But someone told me it's a full moon tomorrow, so maybe that's why I cried. I really should stay home before the full moon, the day of the full moon, the day after the full moon, and maybe a few days after. There's like a whole week I should just stay home. It's like cosmic menstruation. We should all just get to stay home. Let's start a new policy at Creative Justice. Cosmic menstruation days off. Everyone gets 5 a month. Some of my staff members support it. I can hear the yes. We're a very what is your star chart? If you wanted to know, I'm an Aquarius sun, a Pisces moon, and a Scorpio rising, so fuck my star charts. God dang, what the heck was the universe thinking? I want to make you emotional and watery and then make you very committed to some deep ideals the rest of the world is not ready for. It's a recipe for disaster. Okay, I was very much like, please don't end the night with a poet, but here we are. And you all are the true believers. You are the real writers. Give yourself some love. Okay, that's not enough love for yourself, but I'll let you give yourself some more love later. Do me a favor, get in a comfortable position. Please feel yourself in your seat or where you're standing. Maybe you can hear the air that's coming into the space. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And if not, find a space, some distance away from you, that you can just kind of lose yourself in. Can you hear it? Just over there. In the distance, under the fog of our nightmares and the soil of our dreams, poking its little head up through the cracks in the concrete, it's right there. It's so close. Can you feel it? Surfacing. Through all the pain we're finding out might have a little glory. The cracks in our armor, the place where the light shines through, the space in the pavement, carved out for us, by us, you are this. The poem, who grew feet in the midst of the breaking. This is your breakthrough, dawning on the tip of a pen, sun setting on your paper. This is the one where you finally emerge from the cocoon you built to survive. This is metamorphosis, where you go from caterpillar to butterfly to something magical, like a unicorn. This is unraveling of who you became, of who we became. So we can be who we are here or there, alone on the dark side of the moon. We have become our own eclipse. So this is us, being poets, writing poems, becoming more of us. This is a life lesson in writing our own story, being our own heroes, creating our own destiny. It is magic. The spinning of spells where sticks and stones may break bones, but words can heal you, help you, build you, immortalize. This is more than immortality, it is resurrection. This is building a monument to where we've come from so we never forget, never go back. So we keep moving forward because that is how fire works. When it burns, it moves forward. When you finally start breathing again, when the pilot light of your heart is relit, you will remember. We will remember how to keep ourselves warm, how to touch our own bodies like the holy relics they are, how to answer our own prayers for forgiveness, how to wash away shame, how to trust our own intuition and let our guts be our guides. This is where we break down every wall that's ever been built around us, every mirror put up in someone else's image in hopes that we might forget who we are. We are the phoenix, rising from the ashes of what once was to embrace all that has always been since time immemorial. This is us breaking open the floodgates, accepting the fallout of our natural disaster, not waiting on FEMA to clean up the mess we've made of love. We must structure our ravaged hearts into something that is more than functional. This is about being more than functional. It is relearning how to love and be loved because no one can love us the way we love ourselves. This is an act of love. A love note to the parts of ourselves we will one day accept. A holy scripture for our sorrow, a testament to our joy, a prophecy for our triumph. This is you. This is us. An epic poem, a beautiful melody, the harmony of humanity, a tribute to what is when we find the strength to unfold our palms, to see the dandelions in our yards as flowers instead of weeds, and to blow seeds across every nicely manicured lawn in Seattle. Fill them with bright dandelions. This is us. Thank you. So I have an obsession with dandelions, y'all. A lot of folks think they're weeds. They're so good. They're actually the most wonderful thing. Everything from how each piece of it at the top is a floret of its own, that they grow high enough above the grass so they can get caught in the wind and blow them everywhere. Their roots go as deep as they need to be able to grow as tall as they need. Their greens are really good for you. You can make them into tonics. And when I think about dandelions, they help me think about how we label something a weed that is probably a flower. And how much labels impact the way we're able to move in the world, and how much they impact the way we see ourselves or other people see themselves. And so the dandelion for me is always a reminder to redefine for myself what it means to be a dandelion. Also, the beauty of a dandelion is if you pull it up and you don't pull it up right, it's gonna bring 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12 of its homies to come for your yard later. And that is how I think the movement should be. Sometimes it's so confusing living in between. Brushing up against what's unseen while it punches me. Though my purpose goes beyond floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee, I know it's hard to see. Warrior blood on the ground, rolls of concrete. Tear up these streets of greatest power, being naturally. As we are who we be, grow with purpose, we build and we grow. For the children we owe, a world we don't know, before the seeds that we sow and the tears that we cry water the lost souls of time. Reclaim and reroot in what we know is truth. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Pull from inside, more than our skin, it's the culture and vibe. We on a quest, we come from a tribe. Our hope won't subside, we are the moon and the tide. We ebb and we flow, for the purpose of life is to love and be loved, to love and be loved, to love and be loved, to love and be loved. As service is the purpose we live in, we breathe, the earth is spinning around the sun, the stars, the moon are one. If we live to grow light and dark, we have to know where there's a high. We already beat the low, never afraid of the dark. Our heart, it's the light. Liberation from our own fears staring me right. We ain't never giving in, we ain't never giving up. All this love we got around, we could never self-destruct. We ain't never giving in, we ain't never giving up. All this love we got around, we could never self-destruct. My soul conducts light, a brighter day, and it's right. Ancestors brought the fight so the ones they love and dreams could fly. Love and be loved, blessed that I could see love. Got a lot of homies who lonely, that's probably because they ain't know the purpose of life is more than the choice to survive. We live and we thrive, we give and we vibe for our people and tribe, hoping life beyond the divide. The waters we cross, the borders they build, we overthrowing the cotton and regrowing the field. Love is more than a field, it's so much more than a field. Love is more than a field, it's so much more than a field. All this love we got around, we could never self-destruct. Shout out to H.E.R.E Be Free. If y'all don't know, you better know. Go listen to some H.E.R.E Be Free. That's from a song called Nia. Anybody know what Nia means? What's it mean? Purpose, because that's your name. We met tonight. It's Easter weekend. I keep getting told this because I keep trying to make meetings with people on Sunday, and they're like, but it's Easter, Nikkita. My mom sent me some Bible verses today. She wanted to remind me, Jesus loves me. I know, Mom. I consider myself a recovering Christian, but Easter has always been, some of y'all are too, yes, give it up for recovery. Woo! Still trying to explain that one to my mom. She's like, recovery? I don't understand. She's a sweet lady. She's about 5 foot tall. She fits in my bosom like I once fit in hers. It's sweet, really. It's like returning the love. Just, never mind. Woo! This is why I can't be a comedian. So I'm gonna read a poem called Pretty Penny Panties because it talks about Easter in it, so why not? When my mother was a child, she had a major obsession with underwear. You heard that right, panties. I'm not kidding. Anytime she found her hands full of coins, she'd skip her way down to the penny store and leave with a handful of panties. My grandmother told us this story over and 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 over again. And I can only assume it's because my grandmother, a woman I rarely heard say anything distasteful, simply enjoyed my mother's embarrassment and my red cheeks every time she said the word panties. To this day, my mother still buys an obscene amount of underwear. For me and my siblings, Christmas, birthdays, Valentine's Day, and even Easter are incomplete if she has not brandished the stockings, the gifts, the baskets, even the Easter eggs, with new undergarments for us all. Because of my mother, we each own a year's worth of panties. I catch myself standing in an aisle, holding a pack of Hanes, a pair of socks, and a bra. I do not need them, but I feel deeply like I do. Sometimes we are more like our mothers than we care to admit. I begin to add up the parts of her lifetime. A pair of ripped panties, holy socks and broken bras, the hand-me-down clothes and old shoes, the shared plates and nights gone to sleep hungry, the patchworked roof that always leaked, the absentee drunk of a father, the mother who worked more than she mothered. I start to realize the cost of poverty, understand how clean clothes might be a luxury and fresh undies a treat greater than toys or candy. Start to understand why my mother stockpiles underwear like there might be a recession. Start to feel her obsession take root in our fears of not having enough panties. It sounds silly, but it makes sense. For my mother, clean underwear was as good as it got. So I don't crack jokes anymore about how every holiday and birthday she buys us underwear as a gift, or how she sometimes thinks Jesus will resurrect through our panties. I understand she just wants us to know we have enough now. All right, I know it's late, so I'm only gonna do 2 more. I know, but I have a sick puppy at home. I am so Pacific Northwest. I'm like, oh my God, I left my puppy at home. I did, like, she was like crying. She got some shots today and she was like, oh, and I like left her with a friend and then I was like, bye baby. And I poked my head through the door, it's like, baby, are you okay? Oh my God, what happened to me? You know, I got a child, creature companion. When I tell folks I'm a boxer, they almost always ask me the same 3 kind of dumb questions. Do you get hit? Does it hurt? And do you ever bleed? I'm thinking, duh, but I'm not rude and my mother raised me right, so I say, yes, I get hit. Sometimes it hurts. And every now and again I might bleed and they go, because see, most people are afraid of blood. Most people are afraid of their own blood. Most people are afraid of seeing their own blood pool in the palm of their hands. So I tell them it's not the first time I've held my blood in my own hands. Not the first time I've watched my red droplets pool in my palm as a string of fighting words smash hard against my face. But I'm learning that boxing and life are really not that much different. As my coach cleans me up, I stare deep into the pool of blood settled into the folds of my flesh, the looking glass of my family tree, and I think, dang, is this all that I'm made of? This same sap on the ground of this gym is the same sap coursing through my veins. See, Muhammad Ali said, if they can make penicillin out of moldy bread, they sure can make something out of me. Tell me, my blood, my body, what I'm made of so I can know exactly what I can make myself into. Tell me of my mother's father, why he preferred white sheets in the dark of night and a cross set ablaze in the eyes of little people that look no different than me. Tell me how he liked his bottle empty and his woman silent, his fists flying free. Tell me of my mother's mother, of her fear and battered frame. Tell me why she stayed. Tell me why she prayed. Tell me of my mother, little girl huddled on a tear-drenched floor beneath a holy roof too holy to protect her from the downpour of belts and hands. Tell me of my father's father. Tell me a sharecropper's story of bleeding hands and empty stomachs filled to the brim with Negro spirituals. Let me hear my Baba sing our spirituals. How she be like, wade in the water, just wade in the water, children. Can you hear her singing? How she taught her children to flee from the fields of Louisiana for the rubber factories of Indiana. Show me the glint of promise in their eyes as their hope beat hard against their chests, feet running, fleeing. Tell me of the disappointment that plumed on the corner of their lips, how their hearts beat hard against dreams, flexed like rubber, melted down to once again be reshaped into another plow and another ox. Tell me how sharecropping for one man's cash is no different than sharecropping for another white man's cash. How plastic and cotton feel no different in your palm when you are still oppressed. Tell me of my parents' meeting, of how black and white make a good old movie but might make for a fucked up relationship. Show me the stars in their eyes. Show me what it was to have this baby. Tell me of the agonized joy holding this baby. Tell me how they survived. Show me how they didn't. Why 10 years later my father begged for my mother's hand in marriage and she said no. Tell me how they cried and cried and cried, and how my father learned to wash away his own pain. Tell me of our blood. Tell me what I am made of so I may know what I can make myself into. Show me how penicillin became something more than moldy bread. Show me how we fight and we fight and we fight, how life and boxing are more like each other than we care to admit. Let me find the power in my own blood and the freedom in my own truth, that liberation becomes restoration. I really hope in my future life I get to be a comedian. Mostly because I think I can do a better job than a lot of these comedians. I probably also, never mind, I'm gonna make that joke. I'm really good at, bobbing and weaving. All the black people in the room are like, can't believe they went there. Yes, I did. Take that home with you tonight. Feels good to laugh, right? Yes. Let's go down to the river to pray, studying about those good old days, and who shall wear the golden crown. Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, family, let's go down. Let's go down, don't you wanna go down? Oh, family, let's go down, down to the river to pray. I can hear my auntie in the back of the chapel singing. My Bible leans over to me and she says, baby, let's go down to the river to pray. We make our way down the mountainside to the valley below. She says, baby, this is the place where the water settles. Water knows how to settle in the place where it's most needed. You must learn how to move like water, how to settle in the place where you are most needed. She says, pay attention to how water moves, how it starts in the sky and makes its way down the mountainside and settles in the valley below. Pay attention to how water moves. Understand your body is made mostly of water, and that water and your body are very much alike, that water will move over, around, or through a thing if it has to. She tells me, baby, justice is just us being just us. Without us, there is no justice. And just in case I didn't hear, she says, justice is just us being just us. Without us, there is no justice. Without us, the system persists in its defiance, dividing us further from the divinity that is our unity with our mother, dividing us further from the divinity that is our unity with each other. That's when cash rules everything around me, as the man is steadily auctioning off stock of my body, trying to break my attempts to get free. But understand there can be no fair trade agreements when black bodies are still sold as stocks and bonds, and jail cells sell out as politicians are building their wealth on these black and brown bodies, markedly marketed, murdered, extrajudiciously with impunity, not just locally but globally, by the same hands that stole my people from our homelands, the same hands that brought us to someone else's homelands, the same hands that will try to sell us back our homelands, over-processed and overpriced till we become underfed. Yo. Yo, 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 yo. Understand I come from a resilient people, a still here people, a still living people in the land of the slaves, the home of the free, the land of the, I keep getting it wrong. The land of the braves, the home of the free, but no one asked about our indigenous siblings. Did anyone notice how the rivers round us run red like blood? They are not erased or missing, they are still here, you're just not listening. See, we never ask the hard questions of these politics, many ticks. Blood-sucking politicians were the only thing better than their fangs or these blood-stained hands. Look at them elbow deep in the cookie jar. Let's call it feudalism, capitalism. While the rest of us race to the bottom in chains and body bags, they build their wealth, the 10%. I start to get lost in my head, and my Bob is real good, so she brings me back down to earth. She goes, baby, look. And she points down at the water. She says, baby, what do you see? I get nervous because I think it's a trick question, but I answer honestly because she knows when I'm lying. Baba, I see me. Question. That's right, baby, you see you. See, the thing about water is that water and you and justice are all one and the same thing, but so are water, you, and justice and love. And understand that justice is what love looks like in public, and if you cannot first love yourself, then you cannot love anyone else. Without love for yourself, you cannot be just, so you must first learn to love yourself. She reminds me that I must learn to move the way that my water moves, how it starts in the sky, makes its way down the mountainside, and settles in the valley below. She reminds me that water will move over, around, or through a thing if it has to. She tells me that love for yourself must learn to move over, around, or through a thing if it has to, so that one day you can learn to be just. We have to learn, like Baba says, that justice is just us being just us. Without us, there is no justice. Without us, there is no resistance. Without us, the system persists in its defiance, dividing us further from the unity that is our connection with our mother, dividing us further from the unity that is our connection with each other if you learn anything tonight. Love yourself so you can love someone else. Thank you, y'all.
One more time, some extra love, please, for Nikkita Oliver. Justice begins with loving ourselves. Beautiful. I'm going to hand the mic over here to Aliko.
We've got one more song, and that completes our evening. Reparations. Art, music, dance, embodiment. Returning to our houses of magic, our bodies. Communication. Transformational justice. Conflict resolution. What else are we practicing these days? What else is keeping you healthy? Hugging tree. I go out in nature. I went barefoot yesterday, just in Shoreline, just to the woods, because I can't drive out to Woodinville all the time. What else is keeping you healthy? Going to the gym. What else is keeping you healthy? Forgiveness?
Yes. Plunges.
Cold plunges? Yes. Planting. Sunshine. Bath. Dancing. All of those things. Reparations. Thank you all. From Paul starting us off with re-indigenizing ourselves. I have this book on the toilet that I don't pick up all the time. But today I did. And I flipped open to the book, the page on druids. And I read about the magic in the white-bodied ancestry. The divination, the nature-based, grounded with the earth, and y'all were slaughtered. And that trauma was blown through the rest of the world, through black and brown bodies. So my prayer is that we can hold ourselves accountable. We all cause harm. Our system doesn't teach us cassette, doesn't teach us about boundaries, it doesn't teach us ways of being that support regulation of the nervous system and true, deep, integrous support of one another. But now that we know better, we gotta do better. And reparations for yourself and each other. Thank you very much.
All right, everyone. Closing song for the night. Thank you again for your presence, for your support. I hope that everything that you heard tonight and every connection you made continues to ripple forward and weave tighter and tighter together. I'm going to invite the People's Echo friends, some friends from the People's Echo to join me on this, and you are also more than welcome, please, to sing this final song. This song is called We're Not Walking Alone, and it's a song about remembering, very similarly to the other one I sang earlier, to lean into land and spirit for support. We're not walking alone. Here we go. When we stop trying to force all the answers, 'cause they never will come from the mind. They will come from a place that is peaceful. Take a walk on the land, they will arise. When we stop asking so much of each other, like we're the only ones here to provide. Listen deep. Thank you so much. Blessings to you all. Safe travels on your way home tonight, and filling you with love. Take it with you. Bless all our performers and our organizers and our venue and our organizations, all the people doing the real work. Yes.
Thank yourself.